Okay, here's another League of Legends game coming your way, this time in the form of a post-game commentary, and I'm gonna warn you now, it does not get stranger than this. Like, if I were to do a compilation of things, like stupid things done by teammates, this whole video would be entry into that. So right here, first pick is Warwick. We answer with a Gangplank mid. Since he's a flex pick, you don't know if he's actually going top or what, and you have to kind of play accordingly. And then we get Nunu, who is the lowest win rate guy across the board in the game. He is the lowest win rate jungler, the lowest win rate top laner, the lowest support, and so on. Anyway, the enemy team has the Vayne and the Morgana picked into that. That further hurts Nunu because his whole gimmick as a support is he wants to slow with his Ice Blast, and the Black Shield will kind of deny that. You have to remember that the Nunu E is both an attack speed slow and a movement speed slow. And then Black Shield does mean you can just walk out of his ult. So we answer that with Garen top, and yes, your eyes are not deceiving you, Ahri AD carry. Now, due to the lack of AP, I'm going to be going Diana here. I was contemplating, do I want to try Evelynn, but I'm not quite sold on her just yet. So I wanted to go with something I'm a little bit more familiar with. People are supposed to be singing Evelynn's praises for this patch, but I'm not entirely sold just yet. So anyway, right there I'm running Celerity. I wanted Relentless Hunter because as I get the stacks, it's actually going to give me more AP, and like one of Diana's hardest problems is getting in the first place. Basically, you want to land your Q, you have to get in range of that. Once your Q connects, then you're free to ult in. You can use your ult to either get out or, like, secure the kill. But anyway, they have Fizz mid, Pantheon top. And all I can say is this is a rough one, man. Overall, like, if you see this, more often than not, you should dodge. But here, like, that's one of the main problems I have just when I play. I really do not like dodging. It makes little to no sense why I should get punished for someone else's stupidity. But it's Riot logic for you guys. Nothing really makes sense there. So anyway, in terms of the keystones, you'll see Pantheon has Airy. I think that's normal for him because he can take the Mana Flow Band, and one of his biggest weaknesses is gone. Warwick has Dark Hunter, or Dark Harvest, that's what it's called. And he's going to get really fed, so that becomes a major problem. He's going to have a lot of spike damage when he jumps into fights. Fizz is running Electrocute, Vayne is Press the Attack, and then Morgana is Airy once again. For her, I'm not really sure what's ideal. Now Garen is running Phase Walker, that's a little unique. I'm running Electrocute, normal. Gangplank's running Klepto, normal. Ahri is running Fleet of Foot because he's AD carry. And then Nunu is running Glacial Augment. So, like, Nunu doesn't really have an excuse for the whole Glacial Augment thing because at the end you got to see where everyone is going. There's no doubt that that's Morgana support, so you should have adapted accordingly. Nunu chose not to. He's going to do a lot of questionable stuff that's going to set Ahri back, and then Ahri's going to rage, and solo queue everyone. So right here we're waiting for... I can't see the numbers on my screen, but it looks like Nunu hasn't connected. I think he's a little late. Actually, he and Warwick might still have numbers there. Oh, and the other beauty. So, there's a Fizz and a Pantheon on the field. I mean, Vayne too, you can argue for this. He should be running Exhaust. The Ignite is not going to be doing anyone any favors bot lane. But anyway, here we are. Going for the Machete because you do need the attack speed to proc your passive a little bit more often, which in turn will give you a little bit of mana sustain, but nothing really to write home about. Starting Q, since it has the lowest cooldown, you basically want something that you can cast twice before the blue buff dies. Or if you're starting on the other side, red buff. And in case you don't know how Diana works, I'll go over that while we wait. Your passive is Moonsilver Blade. Every third attack is a AoE proc. It scales off of your AP, and it also gives you an amount of mana back scaling off of AP also. Q is Crescent Blade or something like that. I forgot what exactly it's called. You basically throw out a curved arc of light. Anything that's hit by it will be marked with Moonlight. The Moonlight is used for your ult. Otherwise, since it has the lowest cooldown, that's the move you spam more often than not. W is Pale Cascade. You put up a shield around yourself, you create 3 orbs. The orbs will deal damage on contact. When the 3rd orb is detonated, then it will refresh your shield. Or actually, I think it just adds on to it. E is Moonfall. Passive effect is it gives you more attack speed out of your passive. And the forgot to mention for the passive, after every spell cast, your next 3 auto attacks have boosted in attack speed. So when you're clearing, you want to go auto and then Q. That way it's just, it optimizes your damage a little bit. It's like one free hit. Going back to Moonfall, so it increases the attack speed boost you get from your passive, and then the active effect is it doesn't deal damage, but it pulls everyone around you into you. This is your CC move that you need to use to take the Scuttle Crab. I will be taking it, you'll see in a second, because that leash sucked. There's no point in mincing words about it. So, overall it's not too bad, because for Diana you want to power farm to 6 anyway, so like, even if Warwick makes a move, it's not going to matter too much. There's not really much I can do to answer it. And then finally, your ult is Luna Rush. You click on a target, you dash over to them. If they are marked by Moonlight, well, then the move comes off cooldown immediately and you're able to cast it again. So she does have a QRR combo I will use from time to time, just when I know for sure it's going to burst some people down, and when I fight Warwick I'm going to try to use QR indefinitely. It's just, he gets really fed. So right here I'm smacking this around for the healing that I get from it. Overall, Warwick might have been able to see me if, well, he would have blood scented me if he had seen me. Right here I'm ticking up a little bit, and I don't think I bother with the chicken camp just yet. You have a little trouble with that early on, but it does get better as you go. So first blood goes over to Fizz, and simultaneously Pantheon dies to Garen in top. Now Garen won that fight because he cheesed him with Ignite. In case you're wondering, because normally Pantheon would get the kill on Garen, not the other way around. It's just Pantheon is running the Ignite, or Teleport of all things. Now for these, I'm not actually looking to take the whole thing. That one will die to red. And then I want to kill the small ones with my Q. And that's pretty much the best I can hope for. So anyway, right here we're going to recall my gold's a little bit on the lower side than ideal. And I'm going to get the Skirmisher Saber right off the bat, because that will give me the mana regen that I need. It's going to augment the passive. And since it's a completed item, it actually will give me the full Kindle effect. I don't actually need to worry about getting health from anywhere for it.
Embrace the night.
So right here, Nunu wants to take Dragon. If you notice, we're pretty low level. This is really, really gutsy, and it kind of works just because the enemy didn't see it coming. Overall, this really shouldn't work, and like, I don't know what he's actually maxing. If he's maxing Q, that would take this faster, but the thing is, he's not running Relic Shield, so he can't actually, like, Q the minions for healing him and then healing Ari and also sharing the gold. So instead he takes a bunch of damage, he has to recall, and we don't really get too much for it. I mean, it is an Infernal Dragon, it's just this early. It's only a couple AP. So anyway, right here I'm going to go back to my clear. Team needs help, but there's two problems. The first of which is I am not level 6, and the second of which is I am pretty banged up after the dragon. You only get the mana regen from your jungle item while you're in the jungle. The river doesn't count, even though I'd argue it really should, especially if you're going to be seen in the dragon pit. And the passive mana regen, as I said, scales with AP, so while I get a little bit from the Infernal Dragon now, it's going to be at most 1 extra MP for every third proc. But now it's a little bit better.
I will be heard.
So right there, GP used his stopwatch, and it's not going to help him too much in the long run, because now it's broken, and he doesn't build that into Zonia's or anything. That's an AP item, so like if you're curious about the matchup that I'm talking about, I have a Victor game on the channel where I go up against Fizz. The Mana Flow ban makes a lot of the Fizz matchups a lot more tolerable because you can use Mana Flow ban for regen, you can put the Morellos on hold if you even get it at all. And from there, just rush Zonia's, and he has significantly less kill pressure on you. So if you notice, Warwick is showing top. At this point, the buffs are coming up. I'm going to actually take all 4 buffs this rotation. So right here I'm just pulling this in case for some reason someone got vision somehow of the area. I don't really know how they do it, but I'm not taking any chances. So right here I wanted to try to gank bot. I don't have my ult just yet. And here you're going to see the major problem we have with Ahri. So here I am. About 15 seconds later, there's Ahri. Now, since I'm the team's AP carry, I'm going to try to keep the blue up to myself as much as possible. You can see Garen goes down. And right here, I don't even want to put up any of his bullshit, so I just mute him. This was the same day when I had the Scion 80 carry, and I just have no tolerance. You get one shot, as soon as you blow that, mute comes out. So anyway, Fizz goes down, I get his movement speed. The movement speed goes through celerity to become more AP, and well, it's something. Gets a little bit of pressure off GP, but he still has a long ways to go. Overall, like, I don't know why he went teleport, I believe. Using the Victor game as an example, with Fizz, you can really ruin his day if you are willing to pack an exhaust. I should mention I am going to be playing Victor more in the mid lane, and part of the reason for it is just because he's such an obscure character, people may not know what to expect. And he's decent into assassins, because you have your shield with the Q, you have the W to punish the guys who jump in on you, you basically force them to get out fast, otherwise they get stunned. And then you can wave clear with your E. Sadly, I don't think you can jump on him, though. He's way too gold dependent to actually make that work. So anyway, you see Warwick down bot, and once again, help myself with some of his jungle to try to punish him. It's just the whole stupidity of teammate thing that I was talking about. Even though I'm counter-jungling him and punishing him for making these moves, my team is just saying, okay, you're getting counter-jungled, here, have a free kill. Really annoying. So I thought I got that blue buff, but I guess not. So right here, Mantheon is a pretty good target. I was hoping we would have gotten his stun, but that's fine. So right here I want to red smite him, so even if he ducks into a brush or something, he's... like, we're not going to lose vision of him. Now, the only bad part about trying to pick a fight here is the GP is really, really far behind. So even if we did try to do something, Fizz would get here and he'd have probably like twice the impact GP would have. So yeah, that's not really a fight we want. Kind of curious what I'm going to call this game, because I doubt I'm going to stick with the Diana jungle thing. Maybe some sort of tribute to teammate stupidity or something. So the good news is he did get Warwick there. That's going to slow him a little bit, but if you notice, everywhere he goes, a teammate hands him a kill. So we're approaching the point where Nunu's just going to flat out abandon the bot lane. And right here, Gangplank's complain, why is he ganking me so much? And the fact is, dude, you're not warding, you're an idiot, and it doesn't get any easier than that. Like, in that situation, I would camp the hell out of the lane. The closest thing I'd have to that is Pantheon. It's just the way Garen is winning that thing, it's kind of limited in what I can actually do.
They could not break me.
So I think right here we do get Warwick.
Follow no false light. I will be heard.
So unfortunately I didn't have Moonfall to pull him out of Playful Trickster, otherwise I could have. And goodbye, Ari.
You have slain an enemy.
I cannot turn back.
So just remember, she did have her ult up there. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and smite that to secure it. So down goes Warwick. I'm going to flash into the brush to break vision so I can't be auto-attacked. There we go. So right there, Vayne was complaining, but that was the whole point. To go in somewhere that they can't see, and yeah. So what further reinforces the whole thing that they couldn't see me was, if you notice, Vayne walked right by. They had absolutely no vision in that area whatsoever. She could have literally just queued and did her auto attack, and that would have been enough to finish me off. Anyway, we're going for Nashor's Tooth next. That's going to help my clear considerably, and if you notice, Vayne is the one stack I still don't have. So I'm gaining 32 bonus movement speed from that, and then the celerity gives you like 3 AP or something weird like that. So right here we're going to force her flash. If you notice, there was a pink ward right there. Because of the whole spooky ghost thing, I wasn't really too concerned about them seeing. The problem we have here is Nunu wants to keep going for these dragons, and the thing is, we don't have bot lane priority. Our bot lane sucks, and Nunu is a large portion of that, and Gangplank is pretty far behind too, so we don't even have mid lane priority. Pretty much every dragon we get, we can only get because they made some sort of mistake somewhere. So Ocean goes down, that's going to give Fizz mana regen. As a result, he's going to be able to bully the GP even more.
The moon also rises.
And what can I say? This is a miserable matchup.
Embrace the night.
So the good news is Nunu is not actually taking my jungle farm, because he definitely could with his Q. That would be basically the last straw for the team, because if Ari can't get any CS because of his stupidity, and then I can't, he's effectively taken 3 players out of the game because you have to count him himself. There's just no coming back from that.
They would not listen.
But anyway, at this stage of the game, using the passive procs is not really as important. You have mana regen in the form of your Runic Echoes, the jungle item itself, and, well, you just have lots of damage. That's one of the nice things about playing Diana.
They could not break me.
So right there, I was wondering, is GP in trouble, but he dodged the ult, which means he should be safe for one more minute.
Chosen of the moon.
An enemy has been slain.
I speak only truth.
And he's already backed by his blue.
Blind to the truth.
So remember that brush is warded, he got to see me coming. Overall, I'm not really too concerned because I've kind of already written off the game, to be honest. Like, for our win condition is they have to screw up. There is no actual legitimate win condition for us here because we're down 2 characters. Actually, I think I found the title. Diana Jungle 3v5. So right here I want to try to rescue GP, but he got stunned in tower range. And at least I took the Fizz ult out with me. So right here you notice Nunu, he's pretty much dead because he decided to be a dumbass and tank the Herald. And we have absolutely nothing to show for it because he did not get the Herald and then he went and killed himself. The sad part is, like, he has no contribution anywhere on this map, so he can't even help the bot lane if he goes there. The thing is, I don't know how Ari did it, but if you notice, she actually is starting to push back. She does need the Hextech Gunblade to stay sustained. Sad part for her is it doesn't give nearly as much AD as it does AP. I want to say it's like 20 to 80.
Page.
I speak only truth.
So right here I want Vayne stack.
Shut down.
So that puts me at the 40th, or 40 movement speed, and then celerity, if I remember correctly, gives me 4 AP from that. So it's not necessarily like a giant amount, but still I get to run around the map more often, and I might be able to make an influence somewhere. So right here I was hoping I could try to catch Warwick out.
I will be heard.
Thing is, he actually has his ult. So Nunu shows up, but there's literally nothing he can do. So at this point, I want to go grab the Sheen. I'm still going to try to fight him periodically, it's just there's next to nothing I can do. With all the souls he has from his Dark Harvest, that first hit is going to do a crap ton of damage, and from there it's going to proc his passive, and yeah.
They could not.
So if you want to try this yourself, just remember that only works if you're playing against idiots.
The moon also rises.
So we're all Nunu's running around there thinking he actually means something, but if anything else, he was more like some sort of doorman to say, hey, welcome into the jungle.
Dusk approaches.
An ally has been slain.
So right there I had to pop the black shield so I could pull him back in.
Embrace.
And now Garen's gonna... Or it's GP that jumps in, I think, because I still have Garen muted.
Follow no false light.
Your team has
So,
destroyed
the advice I have to give you here is don't buy into his bullshit. He brought this onto himself when he actually picked someone who's known to have severe problems in the game currently. Like, that's no secret that Nunu has a lot of trouble no matter what role you want to play. Now, what's disappointing here is GP keeps running away because we could have just burst him down. Like, I genuinely have no idea why he even started the blue buff, because Warwick outdamages him. The only thing he's literally doing is leashing that for him. Because Warwick just has to toss a ward over the wall, press smite, and it's his blue. And there goes Garen. Now this is the part that made me skeptical that he's actually maxing his Q.
Turn back.
So what I don't understand right here is, look at Ahri. Remember that all their stuff was on cooldown.
enemy double kill.
What she ends up doing here is, well, wait for it. So if you didn't see, she waited for their stuff to come off cooldown, then she went in. There's literally no reason to do that. She just said, hey, free kill, here you go. She did nothing while the rest of us were fighting, and she just goes in there to commit suicide.
Follow no false light.
So right here, Ahri is blaming the Nunu, but you have to realize, right there, that was a colossal judgment fuck-up. It literally does not matter what support she has. They're, like, none of them fix judgment problems. That's a player problem that only the player itself can fix.
I cannot turn back.
And sadly, games like this have been extremely common for the past 2 weeks. It really has drained a lot of fun out of the game, and from what I've been reading online, a lot of other players are having similar experiences. The absolute funniest one I read, though, was to actually test the report system. I probably should have tried it this game, but I wasn't really thinking at the time. So, to find out whether or not your supports actually mean anything, when he's on the post-game screen, he turned off his internet connection, so there's no way for him to reach the Riot servers. He fills out the report, and everything proceeds like it normally does. So, like, there's no reason to even believe that the report button does anything. So right there we instantly take out Pantheon. Right here they're letting Fizz sit there and get his cooldowns. Now the good news is if they can get Vayne, there's still room to work. Nunu shows up and no one cares. Misses it. Or no, I think he actually did land his ult. It's just he has so little AP it doesn't really matter. But anyway, the reason why I bring up the whole report thing is I find it... Garen's going to commit suicide here if you want to watch it. I find it a lot more believable that it literally does nothing because players don't improve. Riot is most likely relying on some sort of automated system, and like, because it's automated, it literally doesn't matter what you do or don't do. As long as you know what to do to avoid triggering the automatic parts, you can probably get away with literally anything in this game.
Will be heard.
Anyway, right here I was kind of hoping he'd come forward. I can't tell if this is Ward or not. I was kind of hoping she'd do her charm or something there to try to bait him in, because once he pops his Ghost Blade, he's gone. So once again, notice the Ahri. So she waited long enough for me to be taken out of the picture, so I can't help, and like, she's building 80 carry. Her auto attacks are supposed to mean something. And if she doesn't auto attack, she has 0 contribution. It's that simple.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Oh hey, Nunu died. Who could have guessed? So yes, I bought the broken stopwatch right there. I didn't even know you could buy that. So there we get the proper one.
Could not break me.
Like, that makes little to no sense to me. It costs 600 gold to buy, and it does nothing because it's already broken.
Chosen of the moon.
So overall, in case you're wondering what my whole strategy is, in order to try to win here, it's use Ahri and Nunu as shields, and maybe the 3 of us can actually get something done. And I'd like to say that's me being bitter or something, but when you actually see the end of game stats screen, that is literally how this plays out.
My eyes are open.
So with Warwick gone, we don't really have to worry about a smite steal. So right here I'm going to have to use my stopwatch to evade the Fizzult, which doesn't really matter because they're all the way over there. They do get Vayne, so it's not as bad, it's just... Hey, there's Ahri! 15 seconds too late again. Yes, she ran away from the guy with 100 hit points. Yes, she's still running. And at this point, I had to make fun of her. I cannot emphasize enough, it's a judgment problem. There's no fixing those, I'm afraid.
I speak only.
And if not for me respawning there, I probably would have kept going. So once again, he's preoccupied, but where's Ahri?
Slain an enemy.
And I'm pretty much 100% with GP on this one. This is our window since the Vayne and the Warwick are both out. We do have to worry about the Fizz. But if we're lucky, Nunu will stand at the back of the pit and, once again, human shield, or Yeti shield in this case. So anyway, right here you get to see Diana's healing. If I actually had the ability healing thing, that would be a little bit better, but then I'd have less damage because of the whole movement speed situation. Anyway, right there is level 16, so we get the rank 3 ult. And I don't have enough for Zonias just yet. Like right here I figured GP, you have a blue buff, you probably got some barrels, but nope. So if you look at Nunu's inventory real fast, you'll see that he has Locket and Zerat. Now the problem with the Locket is the only health item he has there is that one ruby crystal. He doesn't even have a sightstone. The Zerat and the Locket both give you just flat defensive stats. They give you no health. One has health regen, the other one has the shield. So the Locket is pretty much a waste of money.
Chosen of the moon.
So what I'm trying to do is get here in time for the Pantheon.
Shut down.
And I don't really have any allies near me, so yeah.
My eyes
So double kill for Pantheon.
Enemy double kill.
And the good news is I finally have Zonia, so I get the power spike that comes with that. And now the last item I need is Void Staff. Like, one of the things I was thinking about for my build was whether or not I should go for something that inflicts Grievous Wounds for Warwick. That would give me a little bit of a window to try to fight him, but... like, Morellonomicon doesn't fit into my build. I can't use the CDR, I don't need the mana or anything. Then, like, I could go Executioners into Last... or Mortal Reminder. It's just... I don't really deal a lot of physical damage. There kind of needs to be more Grievous Wound items in the game. Like, the best one I could probably build would be Thornmail. That way, at least the damage reduction, or damage reflection when he hits me would inflict Grievous Wound, and we can go from there, but... even then, I don't really have the armor, and I'd be banking on my shield quite a bit.
I speak only.
The other thing that kind of sucks about that is you have to remember that Warwick actually does deal a lot of magic damage in the form of his Q and his auto attacks, since his passive will add on a little bit of damage that becomes a lot of damage as he gets his attack speed. So right there, the Nunu ult completely whiffs. Right here, I was hoping someone would be around here that I could pick off, but... looking at the minimap, I'm pretty sure they all cowered away in their base. So right here, I'm kind of fishing for a pick, but as long as he has help there, I can't just jump on him and blow him up. A little complicated, don't you think? So anyway, right here, Garen's just hacking away at him, and I can't quite tell if we are having a problem with just his regen or what. For the most part, Warwick is the... well, Warwick and Fizz are the two big shots on the enemy team. It's just, I can deal with Fizz. Warwick, on the other hand, is going to be a little trouble. One of the advantages I have over Fizz, though, is if we fight, I have lower cooldown, so I can use my Zonias to block his ult, and then, well, let's see if... actually, we might see it here. So right there, Warwick can see me. And down goes Fizz. So regardless of whether or not the charm actually did connect, Morgana was completely dead. I'm going to be significantly faster than her, and my ult was coming up, so I just jump over to her. I can pop her black shield really easily since I'm actually AP and she's support, and right there we came out on the winning side of the whole skirmish. It did cost us Gangplank though, so there is that. It's like one of the nice things about once you actually do finally hit the point where you have the 40% CDR is you can fight this and not really like lose that much health. Like after fighting that, I'm still in really good shape. I have a lot of MP. So right there, Garen is dead. And due to the stupid spooky ghost that Morgana's going to throw up, there he goes. I'm not going to be able to get out. So in reality, I should have just kept running because we got 2 of them. That's better than we could have hoped for, especially since one of them is Fizz and we got Warwick earlier. But I don't have flash ups, so there's just no way out of this for me. So my favorite part is the stupid line that Garen's going to spout in a second. Like, the dude is... I don't even know how to even begin to describe it. It was pretty much right there when I kind of regretted unmuting him. And then, since I have no patience for any of them, obviously I'm going to make fun of him afterwards. So here's Nunu with Ahri, and the neat thing is, the slow from Nunu actually will come in handy for trying to slow down Warwick. So right there, the gunblade goes off, they get the Fizz flash, and they manage to pick him off. So remember, those are the 2 big guys that are taken out of the picture. So now we have to actually finish this off. So right there you get to see Ahri's attack speed. And the base is pretty much completely open at this point. So right here, by taking this, Fizz can't have it. And then on the plus side, it just allows me to spam. Right there, I didn't get the ult refresh, but it's only a 10-second cooldown at this point. Anyway, this is the very end. So here I'm going to throw out spells here and there just so I get the Lichbane procs. Plus I also get the attack speed too, so there is that. So right there with Fizz missing his ult, that's pretty much it. If he comes out too far, I'm just going to vaporize him. See? And with those 2 down, that's pretty much it. Extremely tedious game, and overall, it's not worth the headache. That's all it really comes down to. So I'll show you the stats, and then we will cut to me opening a champion capsule. So right here I give it to the Gangplank because he was probably the one I hated least. A rank, not really a big deal since can't get the token yet, and you can see Ahri and Nunu down there. For them, all their damage was Fizz. Warwick was a punching bag, it's just he was really hard to cut through. Became better once I actually had the Void Staff. But anyway, right here, we are cutting to the capsule. I'm going to leave the boxes for another video. You'll notice I have 30 boxes, 5 keys, and we get a Darius shard, which maybe I'll use someday. We'll see. Anyway, I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.